After spending the fall talking about the bow, we're going to turn our attention to the left hand. Probably the first and most vital issue for the left hand is to organize the left hand and position it just like you'd position your defensive outfielders in baseball or in football or something like that, so that the fingers can do their work. The colleague that I know that probably does this as well as anybody is Carol Rodland of the Juilliard School. Enjoy what she can tell you about the orientation of the hand as we begin to set up our left hand position.
So the first thing I want you to just kind of swing your arm and just really get that shoulder loosened up. And then I want everyone to beg like a puppy dog and see what happens if you just flop. Okay, everything, like you got a shoulder, you got a humerus, radius, and ulna. I'm not even going to try to name all the little bones in your hand because there are a lot of them. Somebody else can do that. Okay, and so let it rest again. Just swing it. And wouldn't it be nice if we could all play the cello and it's right here, right? But we don't. We have to play over here. So we want to find out again with this nice open, free-flowing breath in our chest, keeping that open, feeling how that works. Just sort of check and see. Everybody has a slightly different turnout in the shoulder joint. You want to keep that connected, but you want it to feel free. Okay, now let's go back to our puppy dog begging. And now let's go back to, I'm going to offer you something. Okay, because when we're playing, we're feeling generous, so we want to give. And now just extend that giving. Depends how long your fingerboard is, how much of an extension you need. And it depends how long your arm is too. Sergio can just hang out. Halam and Taylor and I need to be a little bit more generous with our giving to feel this, right? And to do that, again, you really want to make sure that your core is underneath you and that you are feeling an expansion from your big muscles here that are strong. And so I think it's really important to feel that this support happens in your oblique muscles and that you're able to give from a generous center. Halam and Taylor and Sergio and I are here, and we're just going to explore how if we were playing the piano or some normal instrument where our hand has access to gravity, what that would look like. And I'd just like to sort of warm up a few different things and aspects of your left hand. It's important to know how they work, and then it's going to be a fluid interchange of each of these events as you play beautifully. So let's just walk our pads in a little bit and out. Just kind of warm that up and feel. There's something here right about your fortune teller line that we call in viola speak in Tuttle land the bass knuckles. And so we want to be thinking of articulating from these bass knuckles. So you're not going to put fingers down like fish on a dock flopping here where there's no power. But you want to feel, again, from this place here that you can play. Okay? And again, we're going to just relax and take a nap on the piano so we get used to just feeling really, really loose here and relax. Okay? And maybe you can even hear on the video, that actually makes noise in and of itself, and nobody feels stressed, right? Okay, does everybody notice that when we use the bass knuckles from here, the thumb's not playing, the wrist isn't flopping around, and the neck's not squeezing? Very often people get a full body articulation going on, and it usually slows you down and after a while causes pain. So if you can figure out who does what job and let that part of your person do his or her job, you'll just be better off and you'll be more comfortable. Important for navigation is cultivating a really communicative, expressive relationship of flexibility with your knuckles. So I call this the inchworm. So we're going to curtsy from our bass knuckles and just see what happens to each one of these joints as we do it. And then we're going to open. And then we're going to round. And we're just, you don't want to overdo this, but you want to explore, oh, this is yummy. And then we can start to crawl. Right. So we have a lot of inchworms here. So you got your plop and your crawl. And then you're going to have a basic roll that's going to happen. And again, when we were just doing our begging puppy dog demo, just to feel if we don't interfere and overthink, if we're going to come out here, where does gravity put us? And so the vibrato, you'll start from bass knuckle to finger pad with a nice neutral wrist, and you'll plop and you'll roll. Just kind of gently drop your hand down on your pinky side, on your ulna, now that we all know what it's called. And everybody look at where their thumb is if they don't think about it. And now stick your thumb behind your index finger joint. And what does anybody notice? hurts.
Very tense.
Yeah, okay, so we just want to relax that. And then if we go this way, where does it go? And if we go this way, where does it go? And then we gradually talk ourselves into this rather ridiculous position in which we find ourselves for hours a day. But we have to feel gravity. We have to feel support. Fingers drop. Thumbs are neutral. And they really are, I think of the thumb as she's the ambassador of the radius. She hangs out with wherever that radius happens to need to go. I'm sure many of you have heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, where people who sit at computers all day like this, that gets really injured and stressed. We do not want that to happen to us, because we want to be able to play for many hours and be happy and healthy and have long lives as violists. We also want to play in tune. Playing in tune is a moral obligation. And you'll find that if you work with the support system and the natural flexibility of your body and your natural balance, you're also going to play more in tune. To summarize again, just as with everything we've talked about so far, you want to be comfortable. You want to allow the body's natural wisdom to be your guide. You want to articulate from your base knuckles. So you want to plop your finger action. You don't want to squeeze your thumb. You want to have a nice neutral thumb. You don't want to have the hokey pokey going on with your wrist or the squeezy squeezy with your neck. You keep all that open and you're very clear, and you navigate however you need to hear what you're about to play, and you feel that really independence and gravity and power for each finger, but power and focus without tension. And I think you'll find that your left hand feels better and functions better. The beauty of this is if you allow yourself to move well and be comfortable and organized, you're going to play more in tune and you're going to have a really juicy vibrato. I think it's going to make your life better. So I hope you enjoy.